Hi, I'm Jason, and I attend Grayson County High School. We all know art. Art is the varying definition of creation, what you can create, smaller parts put into something to create one big masterpiece. My project focuses on how to put art on the streets and into the public. Well, art is already on the streets and in the public, but I'm going to focus on making it more complex. Have you ever saw an old building on the side of the street that's just gathering dust or falling apart? Well, my idea of a project is to turn those buildings into something that we can all contribute to and keep up with, so that it won't have to be tore down or even cost money to tear down. Another idea is what I call bench art, which is simply just a bench that can reside by that building. This bench may also be signed if a person contributes to the art museum. They may sign their name, signature, or even put notes or little gestures to other people. Here I have mapped out a simple area of the town. These red dots represent the other locations that maybe even benches can go other places. Of course, you'd obviously only want them in that central area of the town because it would cost much more to put them in the middle of neighborhoods or suburban neighborhoods, or even in the middle of the woods, considering most people live in the woods. This is the high school where I attend, and I'm actually like right here. These red dots actually reference to where benches may go, and these are buildings, of course. Another idea is to add a lockbox. A lockbox will most likely be right beside the bench, and here I have mapped out the lockbox and the bench. We've all seen those little library carriages or library lockboxes by parks or in the New River area. This is most similar to that, except it is built of a brick foundation with a wooden top area. It's going to be nearly 3 to 4 feet high, typical height, and the bench will be nearly 1.5 feet long and 3 feet tall. That's a pretty big bench. But people will complete their artwork when it is finished and sign their signature or name on the bench as well. A custodian or a caretaker in other countries, or even a janitor, what we call it at the school, will take care of these buildings or these benches or even the lockboxes that will be residing by them. They will be responsible for tending to the hours and the hours that they lock up after hours of being open. Obstacles will follow for sure, such as getting permission by the landowners. I would have to get permission from the government to also build a fund in which the public will donate to pay for the materials to build the lockbox, the bench, and maybe even interior of the art studio. Like I said, the lockbox will be tended to during hours by a caretaker or custodian, and when hours are over, everything will be safely secured and locked up at night. Materials for this project, such as wood for the benches and lockbox, will be provided by a fund of some sort. The government will actually, or I would actually ask the government to organize a fund in which the public can donate, or the citizens, the local citizens, can donate their own money and donate money to build these studios, to put interiors like framings for the artworks, or just painting over the walls with a paint so that they can paint over that. Materials will be provided in these lockboxes, such as paints, chalk, spray paint, acrylics, mostly fast drying substances that won't be ruined by the rain outside on the bench. This is obviously and is most likely a great way to welcome tourists into the town. Neighboring towns such as Roanoke or Withville or even Hillsville could enjoy this as they come to see our everlasting culture or the county itself. Depending on how far this project goes, I may even have benches outside of the county in Hillsville or even the other New River towns or provinces. I think this is a great way for the public to open up and relax their tension. Feeling is in any type of medium or type of art. And art is the very special way of releasing your true intentions for the world. I've been doing art myself for over a decade now. Art is the very definition of yourself. For many years, the great masters of the medieval period have passed on their traditions of oil paints, acrylics, even paintbrushes, wet on wet, gesso, and other types of painting, so that we could have our own very own future. Another thing is this emblem. It shows backwards on the camera now, but it'll be fixed once it's viewed. This is a basic emblem. It actually only took me like a few minutes, but it's clearly the name of the plan or foundation. The idea for the plan or foundation that I have is the Creative Citizens Art Foundation, or the CCAF. I think this would contribute to the county, moreover Grayson County, very well, and it could also get people to open up during this pandemic, considering we're all locked up in houses. I'm Jason Bailey, and I attend Grayson County High School, and I hope you enjoyed this very beautiful idea. As an artist, I have to say, I have never done something like this so complex, and I think this is a very complex idea, but it's also very forfeitable. And it does have its ups and downs with the owning of the land, but I think if the community works together as a team, we can bring projects and other projects like this together as a community.